MTFC TV. Joining me at this time is club captain Adam Yates. Adam, obviously presentation evening this morning. How do you feel the most recent season gone?
Okay, it's been a bit of a mixed bag, to be honest. Obviously, kicking Oppo, went through pre-season and like I say, we had a mixed bag. It was kind of very inconsistent. We had I don't want to say too much about kicking Oppo, obviously it's kind of in the past now, but they'll say themselves we're inconsistent. We had a high turnover of players, we had a few key injuries at key times, which I don't think helped at the start, and perhaps they couldn't get the team out on the pitch that they wanted to get out there, and they'll probably tell you the same if they speak to anyone, but yeah, very inconsistent. Towards the back end when Dave took over, Dave said this evening during his speech, he kind of said he's not waved the magic wand. It's kind of been the players. We've kind of come together and kind of taken a bit of responsibility for what happened with the management leaving. As a team, you have to, and we kind of came together and bought into the style of play that Dave wanted to play. So I think that's what got us the results towards the back end of the year.
As we've seen on social media, there was a stat put up, I think it was something like previously you got 7 goals in 380 odd matches, yet you've got 7 in 46 this season. Where's that come from?
I've thought about it myself actually. I can't actually put my finger on it. It's a bit, I don't know. I've thought in my own head, am I getting a little bit slower? Am I coming onto the ball? I would try and overanalyse things, but I just think kind of the desire's always been there, but I've kind of put it into the right runs and kind of change my mentality about maybe attacking a lot of different corners. But yeah, I don't think I can put it down to one thing. I've just been sometimes in the right place at the right time.
Obviously this evening, for those who don't know or haven't seen the previous video, you picked up Fans Player of the Year and you've picked up Players Player of the Year. How does it feel winning both those awards? It's
great, really humbling as well. One side of things coming from the players because they see all the ins and outs, the comings and goings. We work together a lot, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturdays, every week. So it means a lot coming from them. Some really good players in the team as well. And then from the fans, obviously the support's always been there for me. The fans know me inside and out. I kind of give 100% every time I play, and I think that kind of comes out in my play. And I feel as though I've got a lot of desire to win football matches at Matlock Town, and I hope that comes across.
Well, definitely from my perspective. As when I spoke to Dave, I said the players seem to be playing more with a smile on his face. Do you feel that's down to the sort of ethos of football Dave tries to put into the squad, or do you feel that's the sort of football with the players we've got you've always wanted to play?
Well, I know from Dave's previous interview, I kind of watched that on social media and stuff. He first came in and set his stall out and said, "Look, lads, I've seen you a few times earlier on in the season, and I know you're all footballers and you want to get the ball on the deck, so do so." And he kind of gave us clear instruction to kind of not play the ball too high and get the ball into feet, and get the ball basically on the floor and play football. And kind of the lads bought into that, and I think that's what we did in the last 6 to 8 games. Bit of disappointment with the last 2 games. I thought we probably deserved a little bit more out of the games, but that's football. Fear and Ashton and Shaw Lane were kind of up there pushing for the playoffs, so I think there was a lot more in it for them 2 teams to kind of get the results. But yeah, last 9 games I think management wise are really happy, and the lads, like you say, playing with a smile on the face. For me as a centre half especially, I like to get on the ball and play out from the back, and perhaps earlier on this season we probably weren't doing that, and it was nice to do that for the last 8 to 9 games or whatever since Dave's been in charge. It was nice to get on the ball and get the ball down and fizz it in.
Obviously this season we've seen a lot of lone players come in from places such as Burton and Chesterfield. How does that, being the dressing room leader, how does that fit in the squad, the lone players? Do you find lone players come and fit in straight away, or do you feel it takes them a while to adjust?
It depends on the player. I think majority of the season the core of the team has stayed the same. Obviously there's been certain injuries and people playing out of position, which I don't think helped earlier on in the season. But with the lone lads, I think it depends on their own personal kind of performance levels and what they want to get out of it when they're at Matlock Town. If they want to kick on and go and play at a higher level, they need to kind of prove it here first. And I think if they've got that mentality, then they can kind of go and play full time, not a problem. Like the likes of Harry Lim, been great for us towards the back end of the year, and I think he'll go on and play league football, not a problem. Obviously, Richard Walton's not here for the presentation evening, but I think he's been great since he's come in. Obviously, full time at Lincoln. A lot of it was great. His kicking's amazing. Obviously, Barnsley got injured, so Richard had to come in and replace him. But hopefully, we'll see him again next year.
Obviously, you've made, well, it must be close, only behind Lukic, a number of appearances for the club. What, throughout the years, has made you want to stay here? I presume you've had offers elsewhere, but you always seem to be extremely loyal to the Yates.
I'm reasonably local to Matlock Town, and since a kid, following Chesterfield and Matlock was kind of something that I just did. It came natural to me, and when I first signed for Matlock, it was like a dream come true for me, and making my debut kind of 9 years ago was amazing. I can't remember how old I was, it must have been 18, and it was amazing coming to full house at Causeway Lane against FC United. It was great, and I kind of just went from there. Like I say, I've had a couple of offers in the past, and I'm happy here. I enjoy playing the football that I do, especially under Mark Atkins and that time. Mark gave me a break, and I'm forever thankful for that. Great guy. But yeah, I think when I started out, that kind of made it for me, and I'm coming into my 10th year now, and I couldn't be happy. I've got a wife and a young child who love it down here. It's a family club, so yeah, that means a lot as well.
We've heard from other players that I've spoke to off camera. They've had a lot of plaudits for how Dave Hull sets up training. Can you talk us through that? Is it any different to previous regimes you've been a part of?
Also, I don't want to say too much about the old regime, but we hadn't had a lot of time on the training field with Dave, because he's only had, say, what was it, 7 weeks with us, and there was a lot of games coming thick and fast. Dave coming in didn't know a great deal about the squad, so that's kind of where me and Sean Harrod came in, gave him a bit of a heads up about who should be playing where, who's been performing, who hasn't. Because when Dave come in, I think it was end of the transfer deadline, so the core group of players who we had then when Dave come in was kind of it until the end of the year. We couldn't bring anyone else in, so we kind of came together as a team, and I think that's why we got the results. But yeah, it's like I say, we hadn't had a lot of time on the training field, but hopefully we will over the summer, and we can kick on in pre-season and get some good results and start on the front foot for the new season coming up. And hopefully Dave can get in the personnel who we'd like to get in.
Who, from your perspective, with the type of football we play, what sort of players would you like to see come to the club? On top of obviously what we've got now.
It's kind of, I'm not sure what ideas Dave's got. I know Sean and Dave have got a lot of contacts in the game anyway. But like I say, it's kind of down to them. But I think from a fan's point of view, looking from the outside in, I can imagine they'd like to see, with Sean, especially with his ankle operation and what have you, I can imagine us seeing a new striker come in, definitely. Whether it's just for backup or whatever. After losing, I think a big loss was Niall last year. Is it Niall? I forgot his second name now. McManus. That was a big loss for us last year. Moving back down to London. I know he's had a decent year with. I'm not sure which club down south he's been with, but I know he's had a good year. So that was a big loss, and I don't think really this year we've replaced him. So that might be another option for us to get a winger in, definitely. But hopefully next year we can have some consistency in there and start with the core and kind of build around it, hopefully. But like I said, Dave and Sean have got their own ideas, and I'm sure all the lads will buy into that in the summer.
Well, obviously people can't see, but just off camera, Sean Harrod's walked past, so I think it might be a good time to ask, what do you feel Sean brings to the club?
Sean, whoever knows him, is very professional in what he does, very thorough. Does a lot of work behind the scenes on the other team, especially gives a lot of insight to the lads before the game on kind of how the other team are going to play and set up, which I think helps massively. I know we kind of have to concentrate on what's in our dressing room as well. Dave kind of emphasises the point that we have to do that, but Sean gives a lot of background knowledge into the team, which does help myself and my other colleagues in defence. It really does help. Sean been class on the field. It's unfortunate with his ankle that he's had to fall short maybe 6 weeks before the end. I'm sure he could have got maybe to the 30 mark this year. He's been really clinical in front of goal. Just shame we couldn't get someone up there with him, maybe getting in the 20s. It'd have been nice, and maybe we'd have been further up the table. But that's that's digressing.
Right, thank you, Adam, for your time. One final question: is there a message you'd like to send to the fans who will be watching this out?
No, I'm looking forward to pre-season, especially with the ethos of Dave coming in. It's going to be. I think we're going to get the ball down more. I think that's the key thing we've got to emphasise to the fans. We're going to definitely play football. But yeah, keep supporting the team. It's great to see a full gate here, especially. I know this year we've averaged, I think it was 400 a game, which is great, even though not having a great season. The support's always been there at Matlock. It's just unfortunate that we haven't had the success. From a personal point of view, I'd love next year to get in the playoffs. It's been a goal of mine for years, a personal goal which I haven't kind of expressed to anyone else. But I think you've got to push for those playoffs, and hopefully we can get further up the table, scoring some goals, playing some nice football.
Okay, thank you, Adam Yates. That was Adam Yates with MTFC TV, and that's a sign off. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Cheers.